morning, student. Welcome to the class. I am teaching you chapter number 6, Solid, Liquid and Gases. In the previous class, I have explained you about the composition of air. Now in this class, I am going to explain you about the properties of air. There are four main properties of air. Air occupies space, air has weight, air has no color, and air expands. Children, first I told that air is matter. Matter is anything that has mass and take up space. Air seems like nothing, and things that are filled with air seems so lighter. As air take up space, let's see the experiment. The following activity demonstrates that air occupies space. Find out if an empty bottle, this is an empty bottle, is really empty or not. Take an empty bottle and invert it in a big bowl or a bucket filled with water. You will notice that water does not complete occupy space. Bottle and large part of the bottle is empty. This is because of air present in the bottle, which does not allow the bottle to fill with water. Now incline the bottle slightly. You will observe bubbles are coming out of the bottle, which are reaching to the surface. Water can be filled only when the air inside the glass or a bottle are coming out. It proves that air occupies space. In the experiment, you've seen that air occupies space. Now, the second property is air has weight. Dear children, if you have a good balance, it's fun to weigh an empty balloon and a balloon full of air. Children usually guess that the balloon full of air will weigh less because it seems to float when you hit it. But it's actually weigh more than an empty balloon. A good balance will prove it. In previous class, I have shown you the same. Now it's time to you to try it. Our next point is air expands. Air expands on heating because the particles of air on becoming warm move away from each other and take up more space. We can take an example of our school also. When we place balloons on the stage and in the ground, after some times the balloon start bursting. So we can say that air on becoming hot occupies more space since the particles move away from each other. The air became less denser and lighter in weight. As a result, light and warm air rises up. Next topic is uses of air. Oxygen supports the chemical process that occurs during fire. When fuel burns, it reacts with O2 from the surrounding air. Air is necessary for burning. As no air would means no oxygen and therefore no supporter of combustion, which will not allow anything to catch fire. Children, without oxygen, fire will not occur. Now, let's see an experiment. Air contains oxygen. As you all know, air is not a single entity, but it contains several gases. I show you an activity to demonstrate that oxygen is present in air or air help in burning. Take 2 candles and light a wick. Now cover one candle with a glass jar. Now what will you observe? Dear children, candle with glass jar goes off and the candle without the glass keep burning. It happens because of oxygen. Candle need oxygen for continue burning. When you cover the candle with glass, it stop burning as it uses all the oxygen. This shows that air is essential for burning. Dear children, we have learned the uses of air is necessary for burning. We are learning uses of air. The first one is air is necessary for burning. The second one is air is needed for breathing. Air is needed for breathing. Children, air contains two important components, oxygen and carbon dioxide, which makes life possible. Oxygen is required by plants and animals to convert the chemical energy, though in food, into energy that can use for various metabolic processes. Children, the process of taking in air and giving out of the body is called breathing. Different animals breathe differently. Human beings breathe through their lungs. In lungs, exchanges of gases occurs. Carbon dioxide and oxygen both are changed inside our lungs. When the gases are exchanging in our lungs, there should be two processes. One is exhalation and other one is inhalation. Exhalation is the process in which the movement of air from lungs out of the airways. What are the airways? Nose and mouth are the airways. Through the air is coming out, means which air? Carbon dioxide. When we are breathing out, carbon dioxide is coming out of our body. So carbon dioxide is coming out from our nose and mouth is known as exhalation. Inhalation. Inhalation means action of breathing in. The process or act of breathing in, taking air into your lungs. And which air we are taking in? Oxygen. Oxygen is the air which we are taking in. So both the gases come in contact inside our lungs, and exchange of these gases that we are taking out and taking in is done by the lungs. Now, dear children, there are some more uses of air. Like we are filling the cycle tubes. We are filling the cycle tubes when we are riding the cycles. Moving air can help in flying the birds. Moving air dry the clothes. Air we use inside air we use to inflate the football. So these are the general example of uses of air. One more important example is that air gives us energy for the function of living beings. Living beings human beings, animals, we get the energy by the functions of air. Most important is plants and trees. Plants get their food by photosynthesis. Photosynthesis happens with the help of oxygen. When plant also exhale and inhale, they exhale carbon dioxide which are released by us, and they give out oxygen which are inhaled by us. So photosynthesis is the most important process by plants by which they can prepare the food, and that food, when we eat, we get the energy. Nitrogen gas is also very useful for the growth of plant as well as trees, because they give plants or trees protein in the form of protein. These helps the plants to grow. Thank you, students.